Okay, sorry guys, let's just have one rule is I would like everybody to be on mute. Please make everyone very quiet because I'll be recording the call, so it will not be nice having background noise coming from your side. Okay, so maybe before you on your mic, maybe I will instruct you to on your mic based on questions and all that. So to make everyone very calm and quiet and so we can all enjoy it and learn, I would like everybody to just be on mute. And you can turn off your cameras. It's not mandatory. You need to leave your camera on, so you can turn it off. Yeah, hi guys. Good evening and welcome once again to this awesome technical writing program. And I would say I'm overwhelmed with numbers. Probably go back to what I said in the first call. We are 800 and that's 834 mentees. That is a huge number. So for me, I'm very happy that you guys want to join us on this journey. And let me just say a little story before I probably go in details on why we're here today. I was just on my own and I got a message, which is from one of the mentors. So I got a message from him, and he said he would like me to probably start up mentorship program for him alone to teach him. And I felt that was okay. I said, and I've probably gotten requests from so many other persons, and I was wondering, so how am I going to do this? Am I probably going to teach you and find some time and teach the next person and find another time and go over to the next person? I probably had a deep think and I said, okay, let me probably have like a program which I'll have everybody together and teach them. So I started the cohort one. The cohort one was very, very successful. And going on, I learned, I was learning myself because I was really cool, trying to teach people. Like the first speaker says, your teaching is as if you're learning twice or thereabouts. So when you teach, you also learn as you're teaching. So while I was also doing the assignments, reviewing the assignments, I would also learn along the line. And my happiness was at the end. we are about 200 and we have like 7 or more than 7 that are working. So you're not working and they got a job after the program. So, and now the program is more stable, more structured, and we are working on a lot trying to improve the program and making it easy. So at the end of the program, we have your details so we can refer you to jobs and refer you to organizations to make it easier for you to look for jobs and try to make everything successful for you guys. So so much happy that we have these numbers, and I'm so much happy that my mentors have agreed to put their time to teach everybody. So, but what I can assure everyone here, even if you're not here, you're watching the video, what I can assure you is that this program, you will definitely learn a lot from this program. So, can you hear me? Just drop it in the chat. Okay. Okay, so let me try to open. So I know most of you have gone through the curriculum, but I would probably try to open it here so we can also see that. Right, so if you see my screen, drop it in the chat. All right, so can I see the screen? I see my screen. Drop it in the chat so I'll continue. Okay, thank you for that. All right, so now this is the curriculum for this program, and I crafted this myself because I felt that I need to have all this here. So if you probably go to other tutorials, you won't see it. You won't have these features we have here. So the first is introduction to the program and probably the grand rules, and we have the first speaker tell us about community. So we need to know the importance of community. So coming down, we have introduction to technical writing, which is the core. The next one is open source, because this is an open source program. And going forward too, you probably indulge in open source programs too, like the Google Season of Docs and every other open source companies and organization that you get involved in. Then you have the style guide, you have the information architecture. So what I would do today, I'll probably touch base on them, while you have a special class with special tutors that will come and teach you on that one, while your mentors will take you up after the class. So we have the Git and GitHub. Some of you might know this, some might not. So we want to make sure everybody's carried along. Command line is very essential. So we have Markdown. You also need to learn Markdown. So we have the technical guide, teach you how to write a technical guide. It's very, very important. User guide, installation guide, and white papers. And it's very, very essential as a technical writer. Then content marketing. Before, technical writers don't indulge more, but right now it's as if a technical writer must be a content writer, because you don't just write technical articles nowadays just for a particular user. Some companies or startups try to make you to add the SEO features in it, so it will be visible on every other search engine. So I think it's necessary for us to have it. I know it's necessary, sorry. SEO, very important. QA, quality assurance. So many of you be wondering why. So it's important to have this skill, because as a technical writer, before you write anything, you will definitely test it. So QA is very important. So the next we have is introduction to programming, which is intro to HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So it's important for you to learn this. Now, you might not even need this, but this will probably bring you to the world of programming. So that's why I probably added this here. So REST API docs, very important. Designing of docs, very, very important. Then you have your portfolio, teach you how to prepare your portfolio and learn about charts and graphics. Then you have your capstone project. So for this month, you have your assignments. So you have one assignment this month. Next month, you have at least 1 or 2 assignments. So each month we're having assignments for you. Everybody will be very busy with that because this is a practical program and not much about theory. All right, so thank you for that. Let me go on to the talk of today. Sorry. Okay, so this is intro to technical writing. Now, what is technical writing? So technical writing is a type of writing that provides clear and concise instruction or explanation about a technical topic. So I want you to understand this line is a type of writing that provides clear and concise. Make it very clear so people understand what you're writing about. And technical writing involves more about instruction. You know what is instruction? Someone is trying to tell you what to do, an action. Okay, I want you to go and get me water in the kitchen. That is an action. I've instructed you to do that. And are you going to do that as an action? Now, imagine you want to put that into writing. That is now technical writing. So, or explanation about a technical topic. So technical writing is basically on technical topic. There is a reason why you have the technical behind the writing. You have copywriting, you have a content writing, you have creative writing, and other writing. But in this, we have technical writing because it involves instruction, it involves action, how to. That is technical writing for you. Now, so about technical topic involves in computer programs and medical procedures. Now, many people think technical writing is just a software-related thing. It's not. So technical writing can be found in any field, not just softwares. Even in your phone devices, when you buy a phone, you get to see a manual that will tell you how to use the phone. Now, that is the technical document. If you go to buy a drug from the pharmacy or from the chemist, they always give you, see some, probably if it's a carton, you see it, or some that have the technical documents in that medicine carton or thereabouts that will tell you how to take it. 0 to 2 years, take this dosage. 5 to 6 years, adults. Now, that is an instruction, which tells you that is a technical document or a technical content. So now it's not just a software-related thing. For those that work, for the engineers in the car, automobile, and for those in the airspace, okay, now you want to be a pilot, and you're seeing a very big dashboard with different buttons. There will be a technical document that will tell you how to use them and what they are. Even in your cars, when you go to driving school, they will tell you, okay, read this to know that this is brake, and this is how you put it. This light means this means this. If you match this, it's revised and all that. It's an instruction. You put it into writing, that is technical documents. So now technical writing, it's not a software-related thing. You can be a medical doctor and you're working as a technical writer in that your field. So there are, just like we have in the police field, we have some policemen that are tailors alone. They don't handle guns, but they are just wearing that uniform that I'm working as a police officer, but in the tailoring department. We have those in the IT department, and we have those that actually go on the field to probably do the arresting and all the rest. So now it's not just a software engineering related thing. So have it at the back of your mind. You can be whatever you are, and you probably be writing technical documents on that particular field. So I hope that's clear. So now, why is technical writing important? It's important because we need to have a document that will explain those instructions to us. And if you go back, they say it provides clear and concise. Technical writing is not creative writing, it's not your normal kind of content writing. They are trying to write a lot of stories. Technical writing is straightforward. If you're telling me to click a button, tell me to click a button. You don't have to write a story before you tell me to click a button. That is a waste of my time. So technical writing is very, very important. It's important because we need to have a document that will make those complex ideas, those complex topics very easy to understand Simple, clear, and concise. That is technical writing for you. So now, probably you want to know the common examples of technical writing. So you have one, like I mentioned, the user manual, software guides, tutorials, API documentation, you have white papers, and you have business plan. So all these are common examples of a technical document. Now there are other examples, but because of time, I probably just put this one here. So on your own time, you can just go and search for more examples. So now, what are the characteristics of technical writing? So just like I mentioned before, clarity and conciseness. So don't try to make everything complex, because the work of a technical writer is to make those complex topics, complex ideas simple. So for instance, now you have a laptop and you want to write a document that would explain how to on a laptop. Imagine you're writing lots of stories just to on a laptop. That is boring. That is ambiguity. That is making it complex. You make it as simple as possible. If you open your screen, you will see a button with this color, close to this color, close to this color, or close to this button. Then just press it or click it and or hold it for a few seconds and your laptop will on. As simple as ABCD. And don't make it too long, conciseness. Make it very easy, very small, so people understand. So the next is objectivity. So technical writing should be objective, don't try to don't personalize technical writing. Just focus on why you're there and write it out. Make sure the relevant information are there rather than trying to make everything more personal. Now, accuracy. Technical writing is just as important as the medical field. When you go to a medical doctor, you can't tell a medical doctor, "Hey, doctor, I'm sick. I think I have malaria. Just give me malaria medicine." He would never listen to you, or he or she, okay, let me say the doctor won't even listen to you. Why? Because in their field, they work with accuracy. Why? Because that is human life. They don't assume. They don't like assumption in the medical field. So same with technical writing. So what the doctor will do, doctor will tell you, okay, go to the lab, run a test, then bring the results. So when you run the test and bring the results, he is now sure, okay, yes, this is actually malaria or typhoid or this or that. You don't just go and again in the medical world, or more like the human body, there are several diseases that have same symptoms. So you might have malaria, probably maybe that is typhoid or something else, and they give you the malaria medicine you drink, and you're still sick. Because why? There is no accuracy there, it's just an assumption. Let's assume you have malaria, give her this. Or some will say, give her malaria, typhoid, and just pack everything and go and drink. That's overdose. Probably that would harm you. So in the technical writing world, you're writing something for people to read. Now, people are consuming those contents. So when you give out wrong information, you're killing a generation. You're damaging the world. I probably put that word damaging the world. So make sure you're always accurate. You're sure. If you're not sure, don't. Technical writing, we don't have I think. We never use I think. Even in your statement. If you want to make a sentence, don't use I think. I know that this is it. You're sure before you put it down. Okay, so the next is the technical jargon. So the different companies, they have the particular way they name their naming conventions. So try not to have so much of that. I also try to make people understand the technical jargons. Very, very important. So we have the organization. So technical writing should be well organized. So we'll talk a little bit about that when we get to information architecture. So it's very, very important to organize your article very well so that people can understand and have a flow. In technical writing, we'll have what we call the user journey. When you read an article or when you go to the documentation, you see the way it's well arranged, you know where to find whatever you want to find. It's very easy for you to find. So that is how technical writing is. So if you don't do this, then probably that is out of technical writing. Now, attention to details. just like accuracy, you make sure you pick any point. So let's say you want to write about, let me use your phone that you use so everybody can understand. You want to write about your phone, maybe how to use WhatsApp. And maybe there is a step you within you think it's too stressful for you to write. How will I spend all these hours just to write this step? Man, I'm tired. I don't think I need this. You need it. That step, in short, I'll probably say that spirit that is telling you don't add that step, add it. Technical writing, attention to details is very important. So whatever thing you think that would make somebody understand your content, understand your doc site, add it. Don't skip it. Don't let that laziness come in you like, I'm tired. How can I spend 2 hours just to write just this? I will just explain it small and they can understand it themselves. They can't. You are the only person that would understand what you wrote, so they won't. So it's very important for you to, make sure you put every important details there. So user-centered approach. So this also is a very important aspect of technical writing. We'll talk more about that in the audience analysis. When you're writing a technical article, you always have your audience at the back of your mind. Before you even start writing, you would know your audience. Are you writing for a 6-year-old? Are you writing for an adult? Are you writing for grannies? Or are you writing for people that don't speak your language? You need to know your audience. Or are you writing for, I would say 6 months old? So imagine you're writing for a 6-year-old. They're the kids. And okay, let me just pause here so we can talk about that in that time. All right, so the next we have on our list is the visual aids. So you need to learn a little bit of graphics. It's not like you need to be a pro, but you need that skill. It's very important. At least along the line, one of the assignments, definitely you have that to learn how to, create very minor things and keep some arrows to help people understand what you're explaining. So now let's talk about the responsibilities of a technical writer. Talked about the characteristics and a lot. Now let us talk about what you're expected to do as a technical writer. But this differs in companies. Some companies will overload you with what you're not even supposed to do. Some will probably give you little, and some will probably be neutral. But I just picked this as a major. So you develop or you edit required documentation. For instance, you might be given the task to write about troubleshooting guide, user guide, installation guide, or white paper tutorials, release notes, API documentation, or you work with internal teams to update their product requirements. You produce high quality documentation that meets application standard. You write easy to understand user interface text. Now, this we have the people who call the UX writers. So now, as the world is evolving, technology is growing, the responsibilities are being shifted a bit. So there are certain things they do, there are certain things they don't do. So
I said my question is there any provision made for is there any provision for slide of today's lecture? Maybe we can get it and read
oh,
after
yeah,
the
sure.
class.
Yeah, sure.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Wisdom. I actually don't have question, and I want to take this time to appreciate you for the knowledge you have shared. And sincerely, yeah, I think I have learned one or two this night, and so I'm calling to appreciate. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
All right.
thank you.
Good evening, sir. Wisdom.
Yeah,
It's really a privilege to be here. Yeah. And the question I have is: this technical writing program, is it directed towards beginners or intermediate? Because there are some of us that have actually started out. So I'm trying to like get the scope. What's the program going to cover?
okay. Well, the program is mainly for beginners. So if you go through the curriculum, you see we started from the scratch. So it's mainly for beginners. So that's why we have that structure. Then going forward, it will now accommodate intermediate and expert. So which means before we get to May, everyone that is a beginner by February should be an intermediate. So that is how we structure it.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much.
All right, welcome. All right, so who else?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
I have a question on audience analysis. What is the major things you have to look out for while analyzing your
7:45. Ended 7:45 and we ended 15 minutes plus
Sorry, can you mute? Can you
40
mute?
minutes. That's like 55 minutes. It's not exactly 50. Just minutes.
Hello, can you mute? All right, go ahead.
Okay, so yes, I said talking about audience analysis.
Okay.
How do you really analyze the audience? What are the factors you have to look out for?
Okay, now, first of all, before you write any document, you probably get an information from, let's say, your manager, or if you're a freelancer, you get that from whoever is giving you that. So what you would do is that is the question you would ask, because you don't do that on your own. For instance, I want you to write an article for me. So you would now ask me, which audience should I focus this article on? Then I will tell you, I want this article to be channeled to the beginners. I want this article to be channeled to 6-year-old. I want this article to be channeled to secondary school students, or I want this article to be more focused on the lecturers in university, or I want this article to be focused on people from South Africa because of their culture. So now, because you asked me that question, you now know your audience. So that would now be a base for you to know how to go on with that. So it's not something difficult to do, because most people don't. The reason most people fail in technical writing is they don't ask questions. So if you ask me, sorry, okay, you've given me this document now. So what audience? That question will give you everything you need. So I please hope I answered your question.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right.
Hi,
I have a
Mr. Wisdom.
question.
All right, go ahead.
Hello? Hello.
Hello, can I talk?
Yes,
Okay.
I want to ask something. Hello?
Hello. Yeah. Okay. See what will
Yes, I want
happen.
to ask something.
Yeah, if you want to ask a question, can you just raise your hand so I would pick? So you don't have that. Just raise your hand and I will pick. Okay, so Olajumoke.
All right, thank you. Yeah,
All
my
right.
question is that would you, if you ask a subject matter expert for help while writing your technical documents, do you need to credit them at the end of the work, or you just leave it like that?
Yeah, you don't
What's
need
the
to.
ethics?
Okay, I don't think you don't need to credit them in that work. But if you're working with a company, you can credit them maybe in a way the company using. Some companies have a way of highlighting or something made, so you can use that way. But in that document, you don't have to credit them for that, because first of all, that is their duty to teach you how to do that. Then second, it's your own duty to learn from them and write. So the credit should go to both of you. So by the end, you don't need to credit in that document, but you can probably do that in your general call to, hey, help me thank this guy or thank this lady. She helped me finish this or thereabout.
All right, thank you.
All right, welcome. Who else? Okay, Okoye.
Hello?
Hello, yeah.
Okay, thank
Hello?
you, Wisdom. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I have two questions. The first one is on QA, that's quality assurance.
All right.
I want to know if this course can cover we cover QA to a level that somebody can branch off and get a career in QA, or is it just the basic QA? So that's
Okay.
one. Then the second one is you mentioned the Chat GPT, and it's been a debate all over the place. Do you think that it will one day evolve to take over the technical writing role? Funny
Okay.
questions. Thank you.
All right, welcome. So I will start with the second question. Chat GPT at some point would have to relegate some technical writers that don't know how to use it. So that is what it will do. It will not entirely relegate all technical writers, but it will relegate the technical writers that don't know how to use it. The reason I said it is I had a contract with a company, and during the interview, they asked me is, do you know how to use AI tools? And I said, yes. They said AI, they mean ChatGPT. I was like, this thing just came out now. I was surprised like that is now a requirement. I said, yes. It's okay, demonstrate. I had to share my screen and I demonstrated it. So imagine like you don't even know where it is, you don't know the URL, maybe you opened it and you're like, you don't know now. What they wanted me to do is how to use the ChatGPT, because it's not just like a normal search engine that you just search anyhow. You have to, the way you write it, it will give you what you want. For instance, you want to write a copy about, anybody can test it after this call. You want to write a copy about how to sell cigarettes. So when you go to ChatGPT, what you do is just say, write, this is how you write it. Write a copy on this topic, how to sell a cigarette. It will give you what you want. So if you go how to sell a cigarette, it will probably maybe explain how and not give you. But when you put write a copy, it will now give you a copywriting standard of how to sell a cigarette. So if you go and so if you use that style, maybe if you want to talk about the content writing, or maybe you want it to write a full article for you, you don't just say write this, it will probably give you something minor. You can say write, and I don't want to go that deep on this call. So, but you need to know how to do that. So that was what I demonstrated, and like, oh, this is the guy for us. And that was how I got it. Now, for the second question, we are not going deep into QA. But it's very necessary for you to learn how to test API, how to test maybe a JavaScript code. Very important. So, but we are not going deep. We are just good. We are just on the basics. But if you want to probably branch, and you can branch and come back. Okay, but you're not going deep. So thank you. So I hope I answered your question, Okoye. So who else?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. So who else do we have here? Okay, John. So if you have a question, just raise your hand. Yeah, John.
Yes, I want to ask, are you going to share the presentation also?
Yes. Yeah, sure, I will do that.
Yeah. I think it will be a very good guide once you can share with us also.
Yeah, sure, I will definitely do that.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. So who else? I think I touched a lot of topics, so have a lot. Okay, Mubarak.
Okay, good day, sir.
Yeah,
Well,
good evening.
I just ask if there is a WhatsApp group that someone can join, because accessing the Slack channel, sometimes someone is not with his PC, so and I cannot access it through my phone.
Okay. To help them, have a smooth guide. So we are not strictly for those that have difficulties to understand how Slack works. So I think that would help. So, all right, guys. Do you have another question? Are we okay? Okay, so I think we don't have any other questions so far. All right, so before I round up, we'll be having our next call. So our next call, I think, is open source. So reason I picked that is we need to have an open source mindset, because at the end of the day, most of us will be working with open source companies. So even jobs that I've gotten, some contracts, some freelance roles that I've gotten, reason why I got them is because of my open source experience. So I think it will be very valuable for us to understand the ecosystem and understand how to be involved in open source. For instance, we have the upcoming program that will be coming up in some months' time. That is Google Season of Docs. And good 18, I was part of the 2020 set. So I think I have some wisdom to share from that program. So that was a very nice program as at then. So although I'm kind of angry because when I joined it, we didn't aim high. That was like $3,000. But right now I'm seeing $15,000 for 6 months. Trust me, that is cool. And they're not even taking much of your time. You might just be, working a few hours a week, and you get paid $15,000 for 6 months. You have some for 3 months. You have some others that pay $5,000. And the most important thing is the relationship you're keeping with this organization is very important, because at the end of the day, you get to see people joining full time. Wow, we love what you did. We love your effort and all this. Can you join us full time? And you negotiate on your salary. That is very, very awesome. So I think, open source is very important. Sorry, I know open source is very important, and we should key into that. So that is why I added that in our curriculum. So that will take up our next call. So you get to learn about open source. So I tried my best to cover up major parts in intro to technical writing. And then going forward, all the parts that I laid out here, we have speakers that will cover up those parts extensively. So you get to understand it and you have a more practical section. So, but this program is very practical. So we're going to have our first assignment this month, and you get to work with your teammates. You learn to work with your teammates. You learn to work with your mentors to succeed. So at the end of the day, it's yourself and not me. You'll be the one to succeed. You'll be the one to take all the glory, and I'll be the one to be very happy that I was involved in making that happen for you. And to restate again, this program is free forever. So nobody's taking any money from you. Nobody requests any dime from you. I'm not requesting anything from you. What I request from you is just your time, your seriousness to succeed, and not just that, just your time and your seriousness. That's all. I'll be very glad when I get messages that, hey, I got this job. Hey, I passed this test. Hey, I got this. Like the first cohort one, they got recognitions from some companies like Upright. You may know Upright. And I've forgotten the other company. And even one of the mentors went as far as writing a guide for, is it Quibot? Yeah, that should be Quibot or thereabout. So a hiring manager sent him a message, hey man, we saw what you did and that was very nice, very detailed, and we love it. So I didn't know how it played out, but he got that and he sent me the message and I was glad about that. So, I really want every one of us to take this very serious. You can turn out to be a full-time technical writer like myself, or you can be a freelance. So for me, I do full-time and I also do freelance if I see the opportunity, because I take my weekends to do that and not my weekdays. So that is more money to my pocket. And that is what I want everyone here to achieve. All right. Thank you, guys. So do we have any question before we close? Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for showing up. See you next week. Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good day.
Thank you
Bye.
very much, sir. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I don't know how to go out.